Welcome to the Axiom. New file detected. Launching file.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Leo, and today we are continuing the Disco Elysium file. Where we last left off, we had decided to talk to Everard about his task in order to get his side of the story when it came to the lynching. And he told us to open the door, and we lied and said we did it. And then he told us to get signatures to construct a youth center in like a fishing village. But we realized that the construction would most likely cause everyone in that village to move and sell their houses for cheap. So we were given the option. Well, we're not going to be given the option until tomorrow because we need the dock to be open, or the water lock to be open. But we were given the option to forge the signatures, or to get someone else's signatures. And so, yeah, that's where we are with that. So we have 1 more hour to go until we can look for the smoker on the balcony. In the meantime, what I think I want to do is number 1, I want to try to do that perception check, I think, again. And then I also want to talk to the dice maker again. And I want to see, what was her name again? Because her check should be, she never gave us her name. She just said novelty dice maker. Because I realized last time that it might be, she might be the second soldier. Ooh, all of these are open still. One thing that I do wish is that I wish this game would get rid of checks that are no longer relevant. Like this map wall is no longer relevant. The abandoned lorry is no longer relevant. I kind of wish that it would get rid of things that aren't relevant. But what all is open? That's for the authority thing, not the authority, the reality check, right? I think. See, I guess. See, the problem is I really don't want to. If the novelty dice maker is the second soldier, then showing her the tattoos would not be a good idea, and revealing that we know also might not be the best idea. So what we're going to do, let me equip my flashlight. Let's go ahead and put that point into perception, I think. I mean, like I said, I really do want to see what that is, and I think it'll help a lot. And perception is one of my favorite skills overall. So, yeah, I mean, we can. I'm assuming so. I would predict that since the water lock is opening on day 3, if we have a time, if we are on an actual clock and not just a scripted clock, if we are on an actual timer to solve this case, then I predict that we would probably have 5 days to a week, and we are at the end of day 2, so we still have quite a bit of game left. I don't know if the opening of the water lock marks the halfway point or not. We shall see. But my point that I'm trying to make is I have a lot more room to get points and put them in things, so I can still like earn points and put them in endurance, logic, empathy, suggestion, authority, which are probably the 5 main skills I want to focus on, and then visual calculus, but that one's already pretty high. But let's go ahead and level up perception, and then I really want to try this check again. And then, yeah, so that's back. And then if I remember correctly, my clothes, there isn't anything that helps. Oh. There isn't anything that helps or hinders perception, right? As far as I know. Yeah, I think we're okay. So let's just go ahead and try it again.
The bear's
we'll see.
eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing corpse hidden inside its belly.
I'm still not confident that this is going to work. But, I mean, we'll see now. Ah,
He
nope.
touched the dead man's body. His skin...
It'll come to you sooner or later. At least he's safe here until then.
Okay, so now let's go ahead. Let's talk to the novelty dice maker. I know it's probably not the best thing in the world that I'm like obsessing over this one check, but I mean, like I said, I like playing the role of the detective, and I like finding things. So, but yeah, let's go ahead and whoa, there's the door. I'm actually kind of curious. This will be the first time we've talked to the dice maker in a while. Do you have anything new to say?
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die?
I have more questions about this building.
I'm listening.
I have more questions about the intercom.
I'm pretty sure it still doesn't work, but sure. What do you want to know?
Oh.
Sure, I'm listening.
Actually, I had other questions.
I hope it clarified things a bit. What else?
I guess there's no new dialogue, huh? Okay. So, oh, I guess I can. Is there any tear in here? Okay, no. So, what to do next? I guess we could try more of those open checks to pass the time. I know it had said something about reading books to pass the time, but I don't know if books give me any buffs or anything going this way. For all I know, they might be there just to pass time, and I don't think it's worth, I don't know if it's really worth it. But, yeah, let's go ahead and do this. I mean, I guess I could try this check on the chance that I...
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand crank.
Hang on. No, I don't want to break the... I don't want to break the pry bar. I was hoping that we could find a super pry bar in the abandoned lorry, but that didn't happen either. So let's go ahead and I guess talk to Joyce really quick. Let's see. Map wall interfacing challenge. Awarded door. Pain threshold. Failing that. No. No. It's not time yet. Don't want to do that. Both of these are open. And I don't want to do that. So I guess let's Let's go to Joyce and try both of those checks.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
I've got some more questions about reality.
More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
Actually, what I want to do...
Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know.
That's all for now. Let me actually... Before I do this, let's switch clothes. Plus one encyclopedia. Let's do... This does plus to esprit de corps. That's drama. Let's see. Does anything help with esprit de corps? Plus one conceptualization. That's already taken care of. Plus one logic, minus one authority. Okay, so I think we have all we have now.
You're back. Good.
More questions
More
about
lessons in
reality.
basic reality?
It's 58.
My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
Oh, plus 12, jamais vu, thought complete. So 97%, it's very high. And then even 58, I don't think that changed. But let's do this one first then.
What is all of this? The scent, the sound, the air.
What world is this?
What world? The only one, I suppose. The world of matter. And its pale antipode.
The camera of her mind glides over the surface of the water.
What do you see?
Great bodies of water. Forest-covered surfaces. Clusters of light where the cities lie. You've seen the montage. We all have. This world is enough.
She concludes.
There is a term of endearment they coined for it in the DeLorean century, when humanity was high on this world, discovering more and more of it, these archipelagos included.
What is it?
Elysium.
Huh. A term of endearment they coined for it. Let's do this one. Elysium. The world needs a term of endearment.
It does. There are those who would call it hell.
What is hell?
A term of hatred that originates, like many such things, with the Mesk petro-fascists.
I don't feel like I have got the whole picture yet.
Oh, you want a picture of the world? There is no complete set yet, dear. They're having some trouble reaching orbit.
How come?
Great things are difficult to achieve. For now, we're viewing the world from the inside, sideways.
Inside sideways? What shape is this world then?
We used to think it was a sphere, but that is beginning to look less and less likely by the day. You wouldn't know it from the tabloids, but the ORG nations have been launching weather balloons into the lower ionosphere since the 30s.
Intellect?
ORG, Occident Revachol Grad.
There's a steadily increasing trickle of images. Between the big three scientific contributors, they're piecing together a dark grey corona.
A dark gray corona?
Yes. Pale covers 72% of the surface. There are grey flares and prominences, even arcs above entire isolas. The images are blurry, but if there was a sphere in there, it certainly looks like it fractured a long time ago.
Is this going to be shivers?
A cold fear seeps into you.
Huh, so they're on a broken world? Pale? Yeah, what is pale? It's blurry. The pale. And what do you mean, corona?
They say there is a rarefied envelope of matter surrounding the darkened disk of our planet. That is, if we are still living on a planet. Or, to speak more plainly, imagine vast swathes of land disrupted by nothingness.
So, Is this Earth even more alternate than I thought it was?
I am sorry, dear. It must sound quite terrifying through the acute encephalopathy. Even scientific positivism isn't entirely convinced about what we're dealing with here. But this is one of the greatest questions of our time. Maybe when they get the complete set together, it will jolt us out of our rut, bring us together, however naive it may sound.
Okay. And then everything will be okay?
I don't know about things of that scale. My expertise lies in nations and trade routes, one or several layers below everything. But yes, we'll be fine. Don't worry.
Psyche check.
She does not seem convinced that you'll be fine. If anything, she's realizing how deep your condition runs.
Thanks. Okay.
You may have misimagined it. I don't have the power to convey to you the effect and geometry of the images that depict our world from below low orbit. It's like the crowning of the world. It's insane. Very disco. You'd love it.
Well, if you say it's disco.
See? Everyone finds something worth holding on to in this world, however wasted its opportunities.
Psyche check.
Suddenly, you're conscious of yourself standing there, on whatever this all is. Your arms hang down by your sides. The lieutenant observes you both, silently. He adjusts his glasses.
You said pale. What is pale?
The pale is not, technically speaking, part of reality.
Yes. Also, I think we've had enough excitement for today. We do have a case to attend to.
Psyche
His
check.
voice is low, but firm. All she can say is,
Of course, Lieutenant. Let's try something else.
Do I want to go down this road? What do you mean it's not part of reality?
Ma'am, remember you are dealing with a very sensitive and impressionable police officer who is still recovering from a recent medical episode.
The Lieutenant's right. Let's change topics.
She gives you a
What
little
do you want
wink.
to know? Anything.
you could sneak back later when the lieutenant is not here, unless you can convince him to step aside.
+1, Kim trusts you, huh? Ask for Kim to step away while you discuss the Pale. What exactly does the task say? Lieutenant Kitsuragi does not want you to hear about something called the Pale, probably thinking it will prove traumatic. Return to Joyce once he's not there, then and ask her about it. Or get him to step away for a second. Let's try this one.
It remains a mystery what you mean by this something close. This isn't about you. It's about reality.
Okay, fair enough. Let's do... I mean, it's a white check. I don't have to sneak away, so let's, I guess...
Good idea. Just ask him. He won't make a scene.
Kim, can I talk to the ma'am alone for a second?
Fine.
He steps away with his notes.
See? What can he do? You're a grown man.
Now, what is the Pale?
Are you sure you're sure? Your colleague seemed adamant.
Yes, what is the Pale?
Okay. The Pale is the most dominant geological feature of the world, Detective. The separative tissue between the islas. It is the inter-islary mass.
So, like... the oceans? Is she talking about the oceans? Wait, and what is an isola?
Isola is a Messinian word for a continent of matter, enveloped on all sides by the Pale. Also, isolation, or landmass. We used to believe there was only one. In the last 4 centuries, we have discovered 7. Windy, Seol, Samara, Ilmara, Grad, Katla, and this in Silinde.
Okay. What is the Pale like?
Achromatic, odorless, featureless. The Pale is the enemy of matter and life. It is not like any other, or anything in the world. It is the transition state of being into nothingness.
Huh. So it's not the ocean? Is it like some kind of... It's... She said... Okay, so it being the ocean wouldn't make sense because she said it's not technically part of reality. So... The Pale is the enemy of matter and life. So... Is the Pale... like supposed to be an abstract concept?
The negation of being.
The negation of being. So...
That's right. The negation of being.
Is it here?
No, detective. We're safe. It begins there, 6,000 kilometers to the north, and even more to the south, east, and west. You are in the middle of the Isla.
As your gaze instinctively turns north, a small black pit opens up in your stomach.
And there?
An uproar of matter, darling. Rising into the Pale. Rolling. Evaporating even. A great vision. The area of transition between the world and the Pale is called Porch Collapse.
For something that she said isn't technically part of reality, it definitely seems like... Is it just... Well, no, because I was about to say, is it just as far as the eye can see, and then, like, the idea that nothing you see, nothing after that exists until you can see it. But she said it has a definite starting point, 6,000 miles to the south, or 6,000 kilometers to the north. So if it has a starting point, it would definitely seem like a physical thing. But that in itself is a paradox because it is the negation of physical. It's the negation of matter. So like space almost, like not outer space, like literally empty space.
Imagine a grey coronal mist, cold vapor marked by spores of an opportunistic microorganism, a mold that's adapted to grow at the edge of the unrest. It's the most disco thing you will ever see.
What are its physical qualities?
It's difficult to describe, or even measure. Something whose fundamental property is the suspension of properties. Physical, epistemological, linguistic. The further into Pale you travel, the steeper the degree of suspension, right down to the mathematical. Numbers stop working. No one has yet passed the number barrier. It may be impossible.
So like, is that like physics? The number barrier, numbers stop working as like defying physics. If we're surrounded by Pale, how do you get from Isola to Isola?
Oh, it is so difficult for us.
A
Motorics?
squall of birds, hardware operating in the harbor. Firm, self-evident.
It is possible to force dimensions on the Pale. In modern times, we can even compress its latitude, bouncing radio waves from one end to the other, shortening the path.
Bouncing radio waves from one end to the other. So this world is like each continent is isolated, like floating kind of in this Pale? Huh. Yeah, I guess this world is more alternate than I thought it was. I was under the impression that this was like an alternate history Earth, not that this was an alternate Earth in and of itself.
But it is still hard for humans to navigate the Pale without getting lost. Or having our minds damaged.
Like, this is... Excuse me. This is very much going into more sci-fi territory. Like, this is a lot more abstract than the quote unquote grounded reality that this game is set in, but at the same time I still find it believable that this can exist. The rules of this world have been flexible enough that I can see this being a thing. The Pale can damage the mind?
Extensively.
How?
Some say the damage stems from extreme sensory deprivation. Others argue that Pale somehow consists of past information that's degrading, that it's rarefied past, not rarefied matter. They call it the blend over of the self. The Pale does not only suspend the laws of physics, but also the laws of psychology, maybe history even. The human mind becomes over-radiated by past.
So maybe like a regression?
Who says and who argues?
Who says and who argues?
The logical positivists say, the dialectical materialists argue.
What does this over-radiation feel like?
It feels terrible. Absolutely terrible. International standards strictly limit civilian travelers to 6 days of Pale exposure per year.
Intellect?
It's more for her. Way more.
Oh. Oh, she's traveled through this. I don't think I fully grasped that until just now. She travels through this. You're not a civilian passenger?
No nameless detective of the Citizens Militia. I am a member of the Entropanetic Business Class. I'm cleared and trained for 22 days of Pale transit annually.
Interesting. Okay. So the Pale is something you can train yourself to deal with?
Someone else you've met may have been exposed as well. The strange grey-haired woman in her lorry.
Do lorry drivers pass the Pale?
Yes, carried in the hulls of airships. It's a horrific job. Automation will abolish it soon.
Motorics?
You should ask the Pale driver about this. See what she says. That
Interesting.
poor woman must have stories to tell, like you wouldn't imagine.
Are you overradiated?
Up to my gills, officer.
What is entropanetic?
Entropanetics is the scientific study of the Pale, or a recent iteration of it by way of Grad. The study of the Pale reaches back 6,000 years. The Pericarnassians called it the Western Plain.
I wonder how I am going to react to this. I wonder if either this is going to open a new thought in the thought cabinet, or if I'm going to have to pass a volition check to, like, not be overwhelmed with despair that we are just surrounded by this stuff that is made up of non-existence. And can, like, damage your mind?
They had not traveled the entire circumference of the Pericarnassian Super E-Solar. It was not merely in the west, it was everywhere, even then, surrounding them.
Did they cross it? The Western Plain?
There are signs of pre-modern crossings. Successful navigation of the Pale relies not just on technical know-how, but intensive psychological preparation. Some of these tactics have been known for thousands of years.
What has entropenetics changed then?
Nothing. We remain powerless before the Pale. The only real advance in Pale transit is the speed with which an aerostatic craft can pierce it. Less exposure leads to less effects later.
Aerostatic craft?
Hybrid airships, Detective. Conventional rotors or jet engines no longer add velocity after the point of reference for motion is suspended, once you've crossed from near Pale to far Pale.
Jeez. The point of reference for motion is a thing that has a point in the Pale, so it's like you're not... You, like... It's not that you lose the ability to move, it's just that movement ceases to exist, kind of?
In essence, we throw them in and they come out the other end. If we throw them precisely.
If we do not?
Then they don't.
Gone, like a skipping stone beneath the surface.
How much Pale is there compared to the world?
The Pale outweighs reality 2 to 1. There is more Pale than there is matter, and the ratio is slipping.
Slipping how? To our detriment, or...
What do you think, Detective?
It's shrinking, there's more and more of the world. It's growing, there's more and more of the Pale. I would think it's growing. There is more and more of the Pale.
Precisely. One of the few measurable effects of the Pale is that it is expanding at an unknown rate. An intuitive conclusion of that development is that one day the Pale will cover everything. But this sort of talk is mostly left to extremists.
I mean, so is that like the end of everything? The apocalypse? I'm gonna stay silent.
Most people, and indeed most private and government sector organizations, entire civilizations and religions even, find handy ways to ignore or downplay that knowledge.
I mean, I feel like the knowledge that the world is going to end someday is something that... I mean, like, what are you going to do about it? It's way easier and probably better to just accept the fact that it's going to end, that it's going to end someday and then move on, rather than let it bother you in the here and now.
I suggest you do the same.
Psyche check.
Off we go. You see the hanged man's mouth open.
Oh. Off we go into the wild Pale yonder.
One and all. They say Pale is death, but for the universe.
Why should we just leave, and the world get left behind?
Let's return to reality, please.
Yes, sweet reality. But before we do, tell me, Detective, is this the first time you're hearing this? Do you really not remember anything?
I sometimes sense vague shadows of a past, and it's not good.
Then tell me, what do you think of the Pale?
Alright, let me... Okay, so it's terrifying. You are right, it's disco. It will end all life. That we continue to persist at all is a testament to our faith in one another. Its advance can only be stopped with immediate, total, ruthless communism. A powerful anti-communist force, perhaps too powerful, but still they have it coming. I'm worried, I have to say. It doesn't sound very liberal to me. I don't know how you've all survived with it. It's a huge accomplishment. Or who am I to think anything of it? No. Maybe? I feel like this is a fact and not a thought. I don't... No, no, no. um... I don't know. It seems like I'm half tempted, and not just because this is how I've been playing the whole game, to say, who am I to think anything of it? Because in the end, like, it's there. There's nothing we can really do about it. It's just there. And one day it'll end everything. But what's that to stop us from keeping on living now? I mean, it's like I said, the world is going to end someday. Why should we let that bother us? So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's a little bit scary. It's a little bit worrying. From certain point of views, it could even be beautiful. I don't know. I think it's... Not... Now I'm sounding philosophical, but I think it's very appropriate to think a lot of it, but at the same time to not think anything of it at all. So I guess I'll do this. Who am I to think anything of it? Her eyes tense. Crow's feet radiate from them. She observes you, your bloodshot eyes and swollen face.
You really didn't know. This does not spell good for the investigation, Detective. If you don't know even this, then...
I'll handle it. It's under control.
I hope so. I truly do. If I may suggest, hold on to your colleague, Kitsuragi. I ran a check on him and he is very competent. In the meanwhile...
Psyche check.
Some of that assurance is meant for herself, as much as it's meant for you. She must have a lot on the line here.
I mean, more than a lot.
You have me. I will assist you in any way I can, even if we have to do it one basic term at a time.
She gives you a slight bow.
Good. You have not passed out from it. Perhaps I worried for nothing. Are we still on the reality lowdown, or should we do actual police work now?
You needn't have worried.
But I did. Anyway.
He looks around, a little uncomfortable now.
Damn it, you're a grown man, the lieutenant thinks. Shouldn't have gotten protective hair.
Some more reality
I'm
lowdown
happy
before
to
we go.
oblige.
Actually, I think we're
Glad to have
good.
been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else?
Thank you, that's all for now. Huh, I'm surprised that it didn't unlock anything. Interesting. Okay. So... what to do now to pass time? What is this? There's something down there? Is there? Where would I see that?
The sight of bullet holes stirs something in you, making you forget the lieutenant's surname.
Look, what? Look closer
The
first.
faded marks are too degraded to draw any forensic conclusions. Just chips in the sandstone. They look pretty ancient.
Kim, look, bullet holes.
Where?
Hang on. Fading marks are too degraded to draw any forensic conclusions, just chips in the sandstone. Point to the chips in the wall. Someone has been shot. We're cops. We should solve it.
There? Those are old.
Oh, you mean like from the Revolution?
Yes, the one that happened half a century ago. Those bullets were fired during the Revolution and do not warrant an investigation by officers of civil law.
Okay. What can you tell me about this revolution?
Not much. I don't have a fresh perspective on it. Shall we go?
Interesting. Okay. But actually, I completely forgot I still have these clothes on. Or actually, that's not a bad thing to have on, but I want to switch this back out for that. I'll switch this out whenever I'm talking to people. But there's something. The musty smell of a potato cellar in spring emanates from the air vent. A potato cellar? I work hard, I play hard, no one works harder. How would I get there then? That's not something underneath the books. Oh, I guess it would be underneath the bookstore. Hang on, let me... Actually... Let me go down here. Or is it just talking about this? This place? Okay, let me see. Let me bring the flashlight out. Like, there's nothing. Maybe it would be here? This is not the potato cellar, is it? This is not... I don't know. Weird. Maybe it's something to do with the window? Let me check the window really quick. Let me first put away my flashlight. And my garbage bag, I guess. Is it time yet?
Behind the dockworkers, you see 2, maybe 3 bushes grown into a single thicket over a period of circa 50 years. It
Okay.
takes time for a hedge like that to form.
So no, it's not time yet. Oh, I could ask, I completely forgot. Something I can do is I can ask that woman about the thing. I should probably do that next. If this yields nothing.
The woman is still hunched over the railing, her head swaying to the music, her eyes looking at nothing in particular.
Snap your fingers in front of her face.
Huh? What is it? What do you want?
Before I came, you seemed away.
She's just a distracted...
You hear that, Loman? I don't think your partner likes you spending too much
Oh.
time with me.
The routes you drive are unusual, aren't they? I don't think that was... I thought that was a repeat line. That's why I skipped it.
Some of them. Some of them are like home to me now. I would say the routes I drive are usual to me.
What routes?
Lomonosov's Land, Udashnaya Zemlya, the Western Plain.
She nods and closes her eyes again, letting her mind submerge.
The Transcatolia Magistral. You for 1A. Adestradas du Mirador. All the good ones. The deep trenches. Where the bluebirds fly.
She opens her eyes again and shudders. Cool. Ride until you're dust, sister.
Irmao. I already am dust.
I think I know what's going on with you.
And what is that?
Oh, she sticks a filterless cigarette into a cigarette holder and reaches for the light. You're a pail driver. You transport goods through the pail.
Great. He asked the Pines rep about the bail, and now he's talking to everyone about it. Fine then. Just try not to black out again, and don't contemplate. We don't have time for that.
Trying to black out again and don't contemplate. We don't have time for that. Yeah, no, just for detective work. That's all I need it for. No.
That is exactly what I didn't want you to do. Ma'am, my partner wanted to know if you work in pail transport.
No offense. But your partner?
She lights a cigarette, a white and silver cloud of smoke disappearing into her mouth.
Seems like a bit of an idiot.
She breathes out. The air tastes sweet.
Republica, a filterless cigarette from Mesk.
Republica. That's not very healthy.
Neither is spelled transportation. Life is transitory.
I think my condition should still be kept a secret. I'm not an idiot. I'm a detective of the RCM. Don't say I'm an idiot.
You are
Whoops.
an idiot. And you are keeping me here, glued to this rocket. Unless there was anything else?
She puts a cigarette out and stares at something in the distance. Thank you for now. Alright, I guess that didn't work out. So they don't... So, I don't know, I guess Kim doesn't want me wasting time? I wonder if I... What if I did reveal my condition to her? I mean... I don't know. I don't know if it's really worth it. There is probably a thought to be unlocked here somewhere. An inexplicable feminist agenda. Hobo cop? Oh, that's probably if I ask a bunch of people for money. Cop of the Apocalypse? Regular law official. Boyadero? Oh, that's probably something. Huh. Anti-object task force. Is that... Do I unlock that if I don't pick up anything? That's hilarious. Okay. I'm not sure if I want to subscribe to the Bodero or whatever she is talking about. What do I have now? Get 2 signatures from Everard. Prove your authority, Task Hardy. Find the armor gloves. I guess I could tell Gart that I'm singing karaoke. But I need it. I need a boombox. And I need the lyrics to the song. I still don't know how to get to the roof of the whirling. Let's see. Can I talk to her from here, maybe? Oh, no, wait. The sound of melting snow dripping off the roof. It's strange. Is my perception too high now or something? Is that why? Is that why I'm hearing all this? I'm like seeing things that are worthless now. But at the same time, all the orbs are getting me experience points every time I click on them. So I wonder if I go over here. I can't go over there. It seems like there's 2 ways to get in. Hang on, let me see. There's an open door. What door is that? I can't tell what door that is. And then... I wonder if there's a door in her room that, like, leads up to the roof. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I guess what we'll just do now is we'll just go to... Maybe we'll buy a book. Maybe we'll buy a book and then we'll do the 2100, or maybe we have a couple of checks in there that have to do with the book, so we can pass time doing that. Does Placence have anything new to say?
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and...
Okay. Does Annette have anything new to say?
Hi, Ace Detective. Are you here for more books?
So if I remember correctly, there's a check. What checks are in here? There's the map wall. And shelf of paranormal books. Shelf of crime novels, the reaction speed is medium. Do I have things related to Inland Empire on here? No, okay. So, wait, which one was it? It was the paranormal books, wasn't it?
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages.
These were the detective books. Were these ones the paranormal books?
Shelves full of biographies of famous...
No. Was this one the paranormal books?
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people.
Huh.
There's also a wide range of paranatural literature.
What is the pale heard about the curse?
The throbbing in your head increases with every passing moment you gaze at this shelf. Suddenly, as if out of nowhere, a small green book becomes apparent. The title of it reads, Medicinal Purposes of the Pale.
What's this book about?
The book contains descriptions of various pseudoscientific therapies, alternative medicines, and folk remedies involving the pale, also known as le territoire. For example, it recommends vigorously swatting one's naked body with a venik, or hand broom, made from the leafy twigs of a young birch tree from the near pale.
Sounds painful.
It is supposedly invigorating and good for the circulation.
What else?
It also recommends consuming distilled spirits like vodka or whiskey that have been aged in the pale. Readers are instructed to cover these jars in a shallow hole just inside the pale and leave them there for 30 to 60 days, depending on the potency desired.
And what does this pale-aged liquor do?
Among other benefits, it is alleged to restore a damaged liver to perfect health.
Interesting.
That seems improbable.
Yeah. How is that possible?
Is it any more improbable than anything else that human beings put their faith in?
Fair enough. What else is in there?
For general health and well-being, readers are encouraged to take regular strolls through the Pale, though a sidebar cautions readers to limit each stroll to less than an hour. These strolls promise to cleanse the mind of worries and the body of toxins, especially if the perambulator performs this ritual in the nude. Nudity figures prominently in a number of these prescriptions.
Interesting.
This is exactly what you need.
Really?
Andropanetic nudism? That's insane. That's beyond dangerous.
Huh. Anything else of note?
There's an entire section devoted to cures for men who are struggling to perform their marital obligations.
I mean, you know what? Let's be confident in ourselves. Well, I certainly don't need that.
You close the book and return it to its place on the shelf.
Let's go ahead and leave. But hey, I did it. I passed the check. And now, what else was there? It was, okay, yeah, that's no longer open. I can try to steal the map, which I don't think is going to be any good. So merely looking at that unmanly haircut threatens your masculinity. Interesting.
Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring the supposedly stalwart Vespertine detective Dick Mullen. Crime fiction is a disgrace. These books, what's more, they complete not a single mention of all the stress. You see, Dick Mullen, a killing is declared. Dick Mullen shelves filled to the brim with crime.
Okay, so nothing new for that. So I think I really am stuck until 2100, huh? I could buy a game, but at the same time I want to save my money just in case I don't have a place to stay. And that book of Pale Cures doesn't really seem like the thing I should be reading. Alright, I think we'll go ahead and end this episode for today. It was an interesting one. We didn't really get a whole lot done, but we talked about the Pale, which, yeah, it was just a very interesting topic. The fact that this is, like, not just our Earth, but the fact that there's something out there that's so abstract that it affects you on a physical or I guess non-physical level. I don't know. It was interesting to find out. I don't know. Maybe I'll try going back to the old lady and seeing if choosing a different dialogue option unlocks something else. But yeah, I don't know. Either way, we need to find a way to pass time until 2100. So we'll see what happens from there. Next episode, we will most likely be talking to the smoker on the balcony, but we shall see what happens. So thank you everybody so much for checking out the video. I really do appreciate it. If you want to be notified of when I upload the next part of the file to the archives, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and ring that bell, as well as leave a like or comment if you so desire. Thanks again, and I will see you next time.
Upload successful. Click here to view previous files. Have a pleasant day.